Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Hibiscus, or I'm in Hibiscus, or Yusuke Hibiscus, or whatever you want to call me with. You're currently listening to my podcast, which is Hibiscus Cafe Break. In the last episode, I've talked about my years of pilgrimage breakdown from my observations of the Tokyo Senshiraku livestream on September 4th. And in this episode, I will be giving my Fashionable Empire Breakdown. I have Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. If you haven't followed, I suggest that you do if you want to have more Yuzukare content, which my handle is YUZUKAHIBISCUS. Also, subscribe to my channel and like my video if you like this episode. Please note that the name Hibiscus Cafe Break is with due respect to the original show Hibiscus Cafe Break. And this is a fan-made podcast with no intention of receiving commercial revenue, rather to promote Takurezuka review in a casual and informal manner. I do not own any of the resources that may be featured, and any mentions of the shows or seto are subject to copyright from Hankyu Railway, Takurezuka Review, and Takurezuka Creative Arts Publications. Without further ado, let the podcast begin. Welcome everyone back to episode 11 and also 12th video of my Hibiscus Cafe Break playlist. I'm back finally after 12 days. I know that I've mentioned recording an episode every week, but school has been quite busy these days and it's September, so it's basically a hassle for the students and classmates out there like on their opening of semester, and that's why it took me now to finally record my observations of Fashionable Empire. So before, I've actually opened an Instagram live about it, but at that time I felt my recording wasn't so good and even a little bit incoherent, and therefore I've decided to make a new recording of it. So from the last episode, I used the Takurezuka Grand Theater program to explain scene by scene of what Years of Pilgrimage is about, and I would also do the same for Fashionable Empire. So if you have seen my previous episode or listened to it, you would have known that the Takurezuka Grand Theater program is currently out of stock and not for sale, but you could definitely purchase the Tokyo Takurezuka Theater program, which I would link in the comments below, so be sure to check it out. Without any further ado, let us first introduce Fashionable Empire to you from the English plot written at the back of the program. Groovy show Fashionable Empire, written and directed by Inaba Daichi, a revue that transforms the stage into the empire, where the pioneering fashionistas of our time gather. The stylish array of scenes will enchant the audience, at times with the cool atmosphere and at times with the hot beats. While focusing on the sophisticated and metropolitan appeal of top star Yuzukare, this revue also shows off the unique, scintillating members of Flower Troupe through many groovy scenes. So, a few things to note. First, this is a new revue that is an original groovy show, but also the upcoming production that would be performed by Flower Troupe, which is Burning in Firens and also Fashionable Empire. They are based on the same show, except obviously because there were 4 members that graduated from this show, so obviously we can't see the 4 of their presence anymore, which is again a little bit sad. But the national tour would also have some cast changes because this time Flower Troupe will be having a split team production, which has this national tour team and also the Bow Workshop shared lead team. So some of the members will not be in the national tour Fashionable Empire, but I think it's still worth watching it anyways because both versions could have very much a lot of variations. Inaba Daichi is a very important director. Recently, Takurezuka Sky Stage has released a program regarding the directors of the future, and the first episode is featuring Inaba Daichi, and we have like a semi-tone of like kind of like a stage door segment, but it's basically 30 minutes about Inaba Daichi's directing experience and, well, stage insights and directing Flower Troupe's Fashionable Empire, as well as seeing Yuzukare-san's growth and also his love for Takurezuka in general. And Inaba Daichi-sensei has really seen Rei transform like to a very amazing top star right now, because since 2015 he's done like this revue called Fantasia, which also led them to the Flower Troupe won this group award because of this really famous classical Kuro MB feature towards the end of Fantasia, but also because in Takarazuka Fantasia, there was also a part where you could see Rei gets a lot of prominent roles. There's a role where she plays like as a dark monster, and that time you start to see her supernatural side come out. And in 2020, Inaba Daichi sensei also directed Yuzuka Rei-san's pre-Ohirome Koen show, which means like pre-debut show before being in the Takarazuka Grand Theater, is Dance Olympia, which I am currently translating. And that show is also directed by Inaba Daichi sensei with so many dance elements featured inside, which really showcases Yuzuka Rei's talent in, well, her best suit, which is dancing. And in this time, after 2 years, they're reunited to make this amazing revue, which literally, as the description says, with cool atmosphere and hot beats. There is not a single moment where I feel bored with it because 57 minutes really passes by so quickly. It's really a show that captivates you, as it mentions. So without any much delay, let us start introducing Fashionable Empire. So similarly to last time, the program will have a little description towards each scene. And so in the scene 1, it is the entrance. So we have some sky-high skyscrapers, and we are in the middle of a metropolis. A man sings like some kind of whisper, talking about amongst the streets, there is a place where only the chosen can enter. And this place is called the Fashionable Empire. And this person is according to the program, it's called an entrance man. So entrance man is Toaki Seiya-san, and then the Baron, like every empire, they usually have titles like knights, nobles, and all that, like Takasho Mizuki-san, which is currently a Senka member, plays as the Baron. And so, yeah, kind of invites Toaki Seiya-san to enter into the empire, talking about there's this place that we don't know, but apparently exists. I know it's kind of weird that I'm talking about it, but it actually does exist as I feel it. So that's the entrance. I really love the entrance because it really gives you a mysterious vibe. There are other troupe members walking around. They're not talking, they're just walking around, and Toaki Seiya-san's feeling confused. And before Toaki Seiya-san starts singing, in the opening announcement, Yuzuka Rei-san also said, "Come on." So that's super cool. Like, if you see like the Directors of the Future episode, there is a part where I've also posted about it, is that we hear Yuzuka Rei-san record her opening announcement for Fashionable Empire, and she just tries to pronounce "come on" many times, and I find that pretty sexy, so I really like that. Scene 2A is Open the Gate. There's no songs sung here, it's just a melody. But here, in Open the Gate, the music experiences a shocking change. That is where the door of the empire opens. So Open the Gate is literally where Minami Maito-san enters and just gives this very vigorous dance. So if you know, Minami Maito's Mai, like in kanji, actually means dance, which is really, really associated with her because she literally gives this vigorous dance, just inviting Toaki Seiya-san, teaching her the basic moves and just really giving us an experience of what Fashionable Empire would look like, because you start seeing more troupe members wearing that really trendy hoodie kind of outfit, costume, whatsoever. And at the back of their hood actually wrote Empire. So it's super fancy and cool. It's just something you would want to buy if you're just passing by like this shop in an arcade and you're just like, oh, I want to have this because it's just super cool. Obviously, the costumes are tailor-made. This is also when Yuzuka Rei-san apparently mentions this already before we actually see the show in previous documentations or even mentions that she is sitting on a throne and the throne will slowly descend, which is true. So I remember on the day of live stream, I was super excited because I saw Yuzukare-san just descending. Like, even though the spotlight wasn't on her, but you literally see her descend, and I was like, kakkoi! So it's super cool. And then we have scene 2B. Scene 2B continues with the music entering into this high peak, and then you see the emperor of the empire appearing. And then, with a high voice of announcement, he proclaims, "Welcome to Fashionable Empire." So, obviously, Emperor is Yuzukare-san, Empress is Hoshikaze Madoka-san. There's also Empire Guy A, which is Minami Maito-san, and Toaki Seiya-san, the Baron played by Takashi Mizuki-san. Empire Guy, singer is Seina Asuka-san. Empire Lady is Otokurisu-san. So this is the part where, yeah, basically, you know, in every review, they have this really song that gives you brain worms or whatever. Like, Fashionable Empire is definitely like that. The first time you listen to it, and when they continue repeating it, the sequence is just, like, in your head. It's just becoming a formula in your head that you kind of chant to it. Like, "Welcome to the Fashionable Empire." You sing with them together. It's a super catchy beat, a very encouraging piece of lyrics, because it really mentions about unforeseen circumstances, possibly makes us fear the future, but there's nothing to fear. All is important is to live in the moment, live on today, and just good luck, and just face the unseen enemies with courage. So it's really a wonderful song. I really love it. And it's also the part where they say, "You can take her hand," and it's just really amazing. And I remember in the previous rehearsal reports by some of the troupe members, they also mentioned that apparently in this scene, they have some kind of choreography that really tries to show some alphabets. So I tried spotting it, and I think I did see it for the W, E, and R. So I was speculating if they were trying to do the flower troupe, but like the letters of flower troupe, and somehow FLOWER. That's what I was guessing. I hope I'm correct. But anyway, it was really interesting to see the choreography. And then you have the members sing in the Ginkyo respectively. And you have Otokurisu-san, who's graduated in this performance. She sings the lyrics, which is really meaningful for like a Taidensha, because she really sings about there are things that I don't understand, but I don't know where I should go when tomorrow comes, but it's okay because I know someone will continue the journey. And it's important that we cherish now, and also the moments where we first met and when we last bid goodbye. So this lyrics is obviously specially written by Inaba Daichi sensei, like just for Kurisu-san to sing it, because it's super meaningful. It also speaks for the other three Taidansha, so I really love that. And then you have also the segment where they sing the theme song, and you have Toaki Seiya-san, Minami Maito-san, and Yuzukare-san, like the three of them, well, the calm brio, I don't know, like the three of them, they just vibe and just sing together. In previous versions that I've watched in like Takazuka News, they obviously play around much more, but then in the Tokyo Senshiraku live stream, I really felt that they were trying to give it in for the last performance, because unfortunately for this run, their Tokyo run was super unlucky. It was just 1 week in mid-August and then the Senshiraku. So I feel like they didn't want to mess around so much. They just want to give in their all, which we can respect that. We have 3A, which is the fashion show. So we have the Baron entering and just inviting us to enter into the empire, because today we have a fashion show. And then later on, we see a dream girl, and this dream girl comes in with this wonderful dress and starts singing and walking on the runway. So dream girl is Hoshikaze Madoka-san. She sings a really pure song about wanting to fulfill her dreams of walking on a runway and just feeling very bubbly with just admiration to the runway, and it's super cute. The dress that Hoshikaze Madoka-san was wearing reminds me a lot of Alice in Wonderland. So, and she also has pigtails, so that's a plus point. So I really love that. And then for scene 3B, it is when the stage lights turn on, and then we have the runway, and we see the designer starting up the show, the fashion show. So he also, just mentions about his collection and also introduces the models, and then later on just meets with the dream girl and wants to give her a piece of fashion dress. So this is also a really funny segment. I remember doing a Fashionable Empire bingo before, just guessing how the numbers would look like, and there were some that were correct. Like, for instance, I guessed it correctly who are going to be in the fashion show number, such as Hozumi Mahiro-san, Haru Mitsuki-san, Hiru Tsukasa-san, and Ichinose Koki-san. Like, I remember just saying these 4 people, and apparently 4 of them are there. And then we also have, like, obviously Toaki Seiya-san in that sunglasses, stand mic, mustache. It's just a combination. It's just this weird designer trope that we all fall head over heels for. It's just unexplainable, but it's super addictive to watch and funny. So yes, basically, fashion show was also creative in the way that their costumes are really so fashionable. Like, apparently in the Seiya Toaki collection, they're trying to have like these animal like costumes, which I kind of see it. And then, well, Dream Girl comes in, like, after her transformation, starts singing about fulfilling her dreams, which is amazing again. Like, you see Hoshikaze Madoka-san transformed into an ultimate dream girl with the high ponytail. Reminds me somewhat of, like, the Ariana Grande style, but anyway. Yeah, basically, it's just cool to see the fashion show. Anyway, scene 4A is the labyrinth. So a teenager basically ignores the instructions of a baron and just continues entering into this place by his curiosity. And yeah, this teenager, rebellious one, is Seinazuka-san. And so it's kind of interesting because you see her singing like, I don't believe what the Baron is talking about. Like, what do you mean you can't enter there? I'm not giving that in. I just basically gonna enter because I am feeling curious and I just want to, just want to know what's going on. And we have the wonderful Koharu Himeka-san singing as like the shadow voice, which is really a cool vocal there because you have all those high notes. Like, it's just very amazing. And scene 4B is Labyrinth, and in the labyrinth, into the darkness, the teenager sees a lot of women just surrounding an emperor. And then later, a man appears and they start to rival against each other with the women beside them. Emperor is Yusuka Rei-san, and the labyrinth guy A is Minami Maito-san. Now this is the spicy moment in Fashionable Empire. Well, one of the spicy moments, because you have a Reimai right, which congratulations. For me as a Reimai fan, I'm really satisfied. I have decided to purchase the bromide for Reimai just because of this scene. It's just an amazing dynamic. Translating the lyrics was also such a mind-blowing thing. And also translating their interviews is another eureka moment because obviously both of them were very vague with their description. Even though Yusuke Rei-san mentioned that it's kind of like a bathtub scene, but then they were saying, I don't know what's going on. Maybe the audience should imagine it themselves. That's just very liberal, so it's just unusually chill with it. So yes, I won't speak too much because if you see the scene, you will understand it's always been Reimai. Yeah, always have been. So it's just amazing to watch. Scene 5A is Beautiful Night. So this is where we hear this jazz music, and then you see two gentlemen escorting a beautiful lady into the world of dreams. And then suddenly the lady turns into a gentleman and starts singing. They sing about indulging into this swing rhythm in this beautiful night. So this Mr. Beautiful is Toaki Seiya-san, and the gentlemen are Hiruzukasa-san and Hozumi Mahiro-san. So when I first saw Toaki Seiya-san, like, I've always thought that really felt like seeing Eileen again, like Eileen from Nice Work, if you can get it. So it's just so funny. And then basically when she just removes the wig, I remember like obviously Hozumi-san and also Hiru-san were like, oh my gosh, so cool. And that's just so cute. And yeah, basically it's also interesting to see their dynamic of 97th, 98th, and 99th class. Just chef's kiss. And then for scene 5B, we have Beautiful Night, which we have the Palace of the Fountains. And there we have some gentlemen dressed in the burgundy kuroembi, and also the ladies wearing very flashy dresses, and they are also again indulge in the swing rhythm. And among the rhythm, we can of course see the emperor. So this is the part where they kind of have like a 3-set combo medley, which is having songs all about the night. So the first one we have is Chopin's Nocturne, Opus number 9, number 2. It's like the reprise of it. They kind of changed it up a little bit. Originally, as someone that knows classical music, I would be having my eyebrows frown to it. But since Yuzukare-san also finds that interesting, well, if you ask me, it wasn't that too bad. It was okay. So maybe I'm having a bias. Who knows? A Fantasy of 3 Nocturnes. Now that's the first one. The second one is A Night in Tusnia, sung by Minami Maito-san. And also, just her singing is just really amazing in this, because the lyrics itself is also pretty welcoming, and just, like a professional, like a proclaim of love and all that. And later on, Otokurisu-san relays and enters with Ichinose Koki-san. Like, both of them are dokis, but I always love the moment when Oto-san and also Minami-san, they just cross each other and then just interact in that short moment on the Ginkyo. It's just, Mighty and Kurisu could have been a very, very great combi. Like, since Top Hat, I was already so convinced, but alas. Anyway, so both of them sing, and then Seino Asuka-san comes in, sings, and the three of them, Otokurisu-san, Ichinose Koki-san, and also Seino Asuka-san, like, the three of them are dokis again. And then after that, you also have Hoshikaze Madoka-san later on, like, just singing again. And Seino Asuka-san and Kurisu, they just dance together at the back. Anyway, so it's just a lot of 100th classes people. Anyway, and then apparently Madoka sings about this song, which is called the Harlem Nocturne, I believe. And then it's a really tricky beat, but I'm glad to see Madoka sing it because it's just a really interesting song. And then we have Fly Me to the Moon, sung by Toaki Seiya-san in English. And her English is pretty satisfying to hear. You have Yuzukare-san and also Hoshikaze Madoka-san together with Minami Maito-san and Otokurisu-san. Like, the four of them dance like in their respective duet dances, and then they have this high-speed lift and turns. Amazing. It's as if Top Hat finale happened again, and if it's the duet dances of like Jerry, Dale, Horace, and also Madge, like all four of them together, it would be the dream to watch that. Anyway, that is kind of a moment like that, so I really enjoyed it. And then last but not least, they have the Chuzume, they sing together in the tune of the Nocturne number 2 in E flat major. And then that's the part where my heart starts to sink, because usually when they start singing that, I remember Yuzuka-san would hold her hands out and just brush it across the stage and just, like kind of inviting us like that. But I remember on that particular live stream, she was just looking. So she was using her eyes to scan over the whole stage, even at some point have eye contact with the camera, like I was watching in the live stream cinema, remember? And at that time, it almost feels like she wants to treasure all of these moments inside her eyes, just put them into a recording tape and just rewind it whenever she finds it possible. It's just a really warm and kind gesture. Also one that I could see in a top star. Like, she really loves the stage and she really wants to treasure all of that irreplaceable time. So it's really touching for me to see that particular moment when she is, like just skimming through the stage and just like gazing at the audience like that. Scene 5C is Beautiful Night. You have the beauties, which have like the line dance. This is also where Yuzuka-san says beauties. And then later on, the line dance members also towards the end say beauties. And yeah, basically, it's just awesome. You have this line dance from classmates of, I believe, 104th to 107th. So yeah, they did the line dance. So yes, it's just cute people, and just they are dancing to the Harlem Nocturne and also into Fly Me to the Moon. Scene 6 is Club Misty, and we are in the streets of the midnight. We have a man that is, well, a hot guy, and he's going to enter into this club called Misty. And this is a place where the young people are just, it's just full of young people pursuing for excitement and passion. This man hopes to find his fated one, his destined lover. The music suddenly quiets down and just sees a woman appearing. The two just vibe together and just starts dancing, and in the moment, they embrace each other. Hot guy is obviously Minami Maito-san. Misty A is Hozumi Mahiro-san. Misty are Mihane Ai-san and Hoshizora Misaki-san. It's interesting because Hozumi Mahiro-san is the Onayaku this time. Well, I really like her, so she's amazing. Like in the bob haircut, and also the lipstick printed on Hozumi Mahiro-san's neck, like that's just genius move, Mighty. And I also have Misties, which are, well, Awa-chan and also Hoshizora. And like both of them are just, like kind of seducing Mighty and all that. And it just feels interesting because it's almost seeing the dynamic again of Kozne Kosuke, and also like the dynamic between his two ninjas, which is Kaede and also Tsubaki. And then, yeah. And then towards the end, they kind of dim down the darkness and you just don't know what's going on, but apparently Mighty and Hottie are getting hot. Anyway, scene 7A is Fashionable Moment. We see the Emperor rise from the stage and just sings a really, a really sad song about the passing of time. So yeah, this is the part where I feel kind of sad, because also with Yuzuka-san, because it's really about the time passing. Like, you really have just 7 performances left in Tokyo, and that's their last one. It's really about the passing of time, and also the people that have purchased tickets, like that's just lost. So it's just really sad. But anyway, to give honorable mentions, you do have the shadow actors, which include Wataru Hibiki-san, Maizuki Nagisa-san, Kazumi Sho-san, Haru Mizuke-san, Mikaze Maida-san, Kagaririka-san, Haruhi Urara-san, and also Wakakuse Moeka-san. I'm not sure if this was also deliberate, but I do realize that the pairing for these shadow actresses definitely correlate to the plot in Years of Pilgrimage. So, for instance, I remember in the Years of Pilgrimage, Adam List and also like List's mom, like obviously it was played by Wataru Hibiki-san and Haruhi Urara-san. I remember both of them are like a pair. And later on, we also have, if I'm not mistaken, I think Haru Mitsuki-san and also Wakakuse Moeka-san were dancing together. And both of them, they played Count Festistics and also Countess Festistics. So that's just super cool, right? Like, you actually see that continuation pairing. Anyway, and then scene 7B is Fashionable Moment. You have the Emperor left in his journey, just still thinking about the passing of time. But in this moment, suddenly a strong light blinds him, and he realizes that all time is stopped, and it is important to live only in this moment right now. And that's where all of that life energy just returns back to the Emperor and with the other with the other people from this moment. They are singing passionately. This is also a number dedicated to the Taidansha, which I should mention includes Hiritsukasa-san from 98th class, Wakakuse Moeka-san from 99th class, Otokurisu-san from 100th class, as well as Serina E-san from 101th class. So the four of them, either they sang or they danced, but all four of them did dance. And it's also just amazing to see them shine, because this is also what I call the redemption moments. The moments where the whole troupe is together, they dance this really radiant scene, like all life and energy for real is really on them. And I remember like Hiritsukasa-san also had her cheek touched by Yuzuka-san, and also just kind of and just so happy, just skipping like a Musumeyaku-san. So that's just really cool. And also, I really love the lyrics. It's also really moving to watch it, because you really feel like, Hanagumi daisuki desu. Like, you really feel that kind of emotion. To the Future is where we have the future guys and future girls filled with hope. And this is the dance number for all of them. Scene 8, To the Future, is really dedicated to the new young blood of Flower Troupe. Let us recall that Flower Troupe didn't have a newcomer's performance since 2019. That is a fairy tale. It's just sad. Like, you have COVID redacting the Haikara-san, Augustus Shinjin Koen's like newcomers performances. We originally thought we're going to have a Genroku Baroku Rock Shinjin Koen, but we didn't. And then we thought we are going to have a Years of Pilgrimage Shinjin Koen even after a postponement, but no, we are denied of that, which is all thanks to COVID. So please, Shu, no one misses you. But this is also the moment where basically led by Senasuka-san, like all of these members, they get to dance together like as really a new young blood. Like, even though newcomers performances, a lot of them were gone, we have to expect that these are the people that would be raised to be like the future pillars of Flower Troupe. So it's really also awesome to watch their energy. It's just amazing. C90 is Finale A. And we have the Emperor standing amidst the numerous skyscrapers on the grand staircase. We also have men and women embracing together in this very thick relationship as they are wearing all coats and that. So this is just the cool scene. Like, you have a really jazzy music to begin with. Then you have Emperor Yuzuka-san just singing about like the vibe of Fashionable Empire. And then in scene 9B, which is Finale A, you have like a change in music, and then suddenly the Emperor dances with the other finale guys and finale girls into this accelerating, glowing energy. And all the otokoyaku-san, musumeyaku-san, they're just all dancing together. It's also amazing that they've chosen this to be their still photo selection costume. I mean, I have no words. I am speechless. I'm dumbfounded by the power of Flower Troupe. How kakkoi they are. It's just wow. Like, they flip their coats, they look so cool. Yuzuka-san throws her hat. A whole line of otokoyaku-san just walk on the ginkyo. Like, how do people survive the fashionable empire? I have no idea. Like, if I were a fan on the SS seat, I would probably have fainted. But anyway, scene 10 is the finale with like guy A in the center and continuing to dance with the men and women and just celebrating the empire. So yes, Emperor leaves first, and then we are left with finale guy A, Minami Maito-san, and finale guy B A, also Toaki Seiya-san. Minami Maito-san getting a star angle is the happiest moment for all Minami Maito-san fans out there. I'm sure it is a wonderful star angle. Like, she gets to lead both the otokoyaku and the musumiyaku, so that's just really impressive, man. I'm just so happy for her. The lyrics also pretty steamy, just like the flirtatious Minami Maito-san. So yes, she deserves the credit. She deserves this to herself. She really deserves it. Also, Toaki Seiya-san also Sean. So like, it's just an amazing atmosphere just seeing all the Flower Troupe members vibe together. Scene 11C is the finale C, which is the duet dance, and this is the duet dance between Emperor and also Empress. This is a duet dance without this is duet dance without the use of a ginkyo. Pretty refreshing. They also start dancing to choreography that is closely related to their previous performances, such as Cool Beast, The Fascination, even from Top Hat. So if you've noticed, then it's kind of like a story of Rei Mado, and it's also like a conversation because like both of their actions are like in sync and also it's very symmetrical. So they also share a kiss. So it's really amazing to see that. And last but not least, we have the grand parade. So this is just like a grand parade for all the actresses. And then we basically have like Wakakusa Moeka-san being the étoile, which is great because she sings so well. So she really deserved the étoile title. And then we have Hiru-san, Hozumi-san, and Ichinose-san walking down together. And Taidansha, by the way, have like a flower clipped, so to represent that they're the Taidansha. Then we have Otokurisu-san also coming down from the staircase alone, which is well deserved. And then we have Seno Asuka-san also coming down from the staircase. And then we have Toaki Seiya-san and her Sanbante feathers. We have Minami Maito-san and her Nibante feathers, thank goodness so much. She really enjoys it. You can see when she just waves in those Nibante feathers. She's obviously enjoying that. It's amazing. And then you have Hoshikaze Madoka-san. And then finally you have Yuzukare-san. And so yeah, both, like all of them sing together like the Fashionable Empire. And then it's just a really cool song. And then they are also holding crown shanshans, which is a genius move to do because it's an empire, even though we didn't see too much of like an medieval empire style clothings, but I'm very happy to see crown shanshans because it's really creative. And speaking of which, in the national tour run, they are selling a mini crown merchandise, which I am also planning to purchase because oh my goodness, if you see the picture, it is so cute. I definitely need it for any purpose, like just, I don't know, clipping up in my bag or whatsoever. And then I think a few words for the graduation like ceremony kind of thing, and then I will end the podcast here. So I've already mentioned the four Taidansha, and I won't really summarize too much of what they mentioned, but it's obviously that they felt thankful for the review in their time for being here, and they're also grateful with like the roles they've met and so forth. Before they get to speak this graduation speech they usually have the Kumicho-san, which is at this point Mikaze Maeda-san, to talk about their stage experience in Takarazuka review. So she basically reads their resume and stuff like that. And you can obviously hear that she's trying so hard not to break down into tears because, well, if you say it, Kumicho-san, like, also, I think one of the very rare, but also a Musumeyaku Kumicho-san, like, obviously feels like a mom. She is trying to hold back her tears. It feels really sad just to hear her speak through all of that 4 resumes. And then you also have like the 4 Taidansha speak to that, and then you have like the gifting of flowers, and yeah, it's just a wonderful scene, and just you just feel so relieved that they get to graduate successfully. Like, at least we can witness their graduation instead of suddenly being cancelled. And then yeah, Yuzuka-san starts giving her speech. So I translated this part, so I'm really sure what she talked about. I remember I was sitting at the cinema, and already from her first few lines, like, even though, for instance, in Hong Kong cinemas, they only translate Years of Pilgrimage, which is the musical, they didn't even translate the review. And then they also didn't translate the graduation speech because it's kind of new, right? Like, it's something that's spontaneously spoken by them. They can't make subtitles out of it. But then it came to the point when she starts speaking so slow with so many pauses that I realized, oh, okay, so she's really, really sorry that there can never be too many performances because of COVID. And just, yeah, she just feels really sorry. And just, I don't know. I can't really describe her expression. It feels really serious, sincere, but also a little bit like apologetic and also regretting. And yeah, I remember sitting in the cinema seats and just feeling, oh, but you didn't do anything wrong. But apparently she also apologized like more than once. So it's really sad to watch her in this state because obviously it's really not her fault that she have to accept this fact. But I'm really grateful that every time this happens, she continues to be optimistic. Like, Flower Troupe will be better. We will not forget this feeling. We just wish that everyone could be happy, and that is why we're continue to working hard instead of just dwelling into the past and being sad about it. Like, that's just something I admire from her so much because of her attitude. It's super forward-looking, and also just, even though with so much apology, she expresses and delivers it super sincerely. So that's one thing that I really like. She also mentions about lyrics in the show about taking their hand, and she also mentions that once we are connected with the audience, we would not let go of their hand. That is also something that I feel very warm in my heart when I listen to that, because it really feels like they're really trying their best to just portray the best that they can, work their best efforts. And so yeah, I really like that. And then that's like 2 curtain calls already. And of course, well, they did sing like Forever Takarazuka. And then they also sang about, they didn't sing. And the third, yeah, basically in the third curtain call, they started talking about like the Taidansha. And then the 4 Taidansha also expressly mentioned that they're so thankful that Yuzuka-san is here, which is also good because like it's really through Yuzuka-san that they could have gone through this difficult time. So it's just really amazing to just see their gratitude. And Yuzuka-san also wants to hug them, but because of COVID, like, she does a virtual hug anyway, so it's really cute of her to do that. She also mentions about like very thankful for her fans who, even with the theater closing down, they still went to Quattro Reves to buy stuff, even though she was a little bit nervous that she kind of had like a a word slip or two, but we appreciate her cuteness, so that's fine. And then in the fourth curtain call, Yuzuka-san didn't do a flower true pose. Instead, she invited the four Taidansha to do their last flower true pose, which is, they said, we love you, like aishitemasu and all that. It's really of a generous gesture to Yuzuka-san as well, because this is their last moment on stage, so Yuzuka-san just dedicates it all to the Taidansha. In the fifth curtain call, which is not aired in Takazuka News, she comes out from the stage again by herself and just says, again, thank you so much to you guys, and I love you all very much. And I just really want to hug her through the screen if that's possible. But it feels kind of different for my first Flower Troupe live viewing performance. Like, I've never seen Yuzuka-san so sincere like that and so serious about being sorry. But at the same time, she's delivered so much in this performance that, well, it took me 2 episodes to mention about it. Like the last episode was Years of Pilgrimage, and this episode was Fashionable Empire. So it's just really amazing. Yeah, basically. And do I have any additional thoughts? Well, I would say I am very missing Ray a lot. So I did write her a letter, which I did send it today, which thankfully and hopefully it could arrive safely, because I did do tracking records this time. Secondly, I'm really excited to see the rendition part of Fashionable Empire and the national tour, and also, just seeing how the cast would change according to that. And the third thing is, Taidansha have all opened Instagrams, so I will also link their accounts in the comments below. Definitely sure check it out, because all 4 of them are living cool lives. So yes, I think that's almost for the end of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you and bye.